Hey everyone, I'm getting ready to shut it down for the night, but Emily, you came up with a really good one, and I thought, oh heck, I'm gonna hop on and do this because this is the cornerstone to me of tapping. Is there's a saying, you can't change what you judge, and there is so much truth to this because if you think about when you judge yourself and you lock down on yourself, there's no movement, no room to change anything that's going on for you. So often what I find, if people are tapping and they don't, they're not getting movement on something, it can very often go to self-blame and self-criticism that gets missed. So if you think about something, and the ways that we judge ourselves are so subtle, it's not always easy to catch it. It can be really challenging and really hard. And I say this in workshops and webinars that I do is you literally could be like, well, I should water that plant, but you don't. And then you go into judgment about it. I should do the dishes. You could do that. And then you criticize yourself and get down on yourself. So, oh, hey, Karen, I want to do one more, this video that was requested before I shut it down for the night. It's even later where you are. So, so this one is for, hey, Julie. So if you are criticizing and blaming yourself, which is so hard to catch sometimes it's in our face. And I call it the bully in our brain. It's that voice that's wah, 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 wah. You know, it's just like, you'll never make it. Who do you think you are? It's just always coming after you. It's just like up your ass. It parachutes in as soon as you do something and point it out. And then it can be subtler where, like I said, it's like, well, I should do the dishes and I don't want to, or I shouldn't be watching Netflix right now. All the judgment. So it's a process, and the key is to start to catch yourself when you can. When you catch yourself in self-judgment, like I said, it's so epidemic. It's so hard to catch it at times. So let's just do some tapping on this. I could talk on forever and we don't get to tapping, so karate chop. Even though I really blame myself, and I'm really, really hard on myself, I don't ever really let up. I choose to accept that I feel this way. I'm just adding people. Even though I really blame myself, I really get down on myself. I'm my own worst critic. Or so it seems. I choose to accept myself right now. Hey, Karen. Even though I really beat up on myself. And sometimes I beat up on myself using other people to do it. Get that one. I acknowledge myself anyway now. Go to the eyebrow. Oh, there it is. Another mistake. Another screw up. See? I did it again. God, I'm so stupid. I know better. And yet I did it again. That's the way I learned to talk to myself. Because I learned to treat myself the way I was treated. No compassion. No kindness. Always on myself. Hey, Emily, glad you're here. Just criticizing myself. I did it again. God, I'm so stupid. I know better. And I did it again. That's how I learned to treat myself. Because that's how I was treated. And here's the thing. No matter how much intellectual knowledge I have about knowing better, when emotions are high, my intelligence is low. Because I am triggered. And when I'm triggered, I'm in it. I would totally do it differently if I could. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have behaved that way. And with the benefit of hindsight, after the fact, then judgment reigns supreme. Self-condemnation comes raining on me. And I may not believe this yet, but I really would have done it differently if I could have. I just couldn't. In that moment, in that situation, in that circumstance, I was doing the best I could. I don't have to believe this yet, but what if I could be open to the idea that I really would have done it differently if I could have? Always make new mistakes. What? Really? Mistakes are tuition for life. Mistakes are how we learn. But I wasn't taught that. I was taught to be perfect. That I gotta get it right, even when I don't know what I'm doing. So right here and now, to the best of my ability, I'm gonna call some major bullshit on that. I would do it differently if I could. Mistakes are how I learn. And if I repeat a mistake over and over again, what if it just means there's something more to learn here? Hey, Michelle. So right here and now, to the best of my ability, hey, I am calling major bullshit. Like major bullshit. That mistakes are bad. That I've got to get it right. That I've got to be perfect. How the hell else do I learn? So what if mistakes aren't bad? Even the ones I repeat. Because it just means there's something that hasn't shifted for me yet. So I like the idea that I can learn to forgive myself, learn to actually believe that mistakes are okay. Because I can learn, even if it takes me the same mistake over and over again. Because there's a pattern in place that's trying to keep me safe. And when I release what that is, guess what? I don't have to make that mistake anymore. And I may not believe this all yet, but God knows I've beat the crap out of myself a lot. And I'm open to the idea that I can learn to release more and more self-criticism, self-blame, and beating myself up a little bit more each and every day. I like that idea a lot. I like it a lot. And then take a breath. So Emily, I think you're on here. I'm glad you could make it on. So again, you can watch the beginning of this. The saying, you can't change what you judge. There's so much truth to that. And again, we don't often see all the ways we do beat ourselves up. And obviously what you said, Emily, you're catching it. So one thing, give yourself credit for catching it. Even if it's just like, well, it sucks, but I'm seeing it, because you're welcome. The unconscious is conscious. I'm so aware of this. I literally think I've said this on other videos. I found this magnet when I was in Durango, Colorado a few years back, and it says, always make new mistakes. I was like, oh God, I gotta have that, because that's not what I tell myself. And I like the term tuition for life. And again, if we are repeating the same mistake over and over and over again, it's just an indicator that there's some hidden limiting belief or block in there as to why you do it. And to me, I always say it this way, it's always, 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 in some way or another, you're trying to protect yourself. So sometimes just knowing that, even though it's intellectual fodder, is huge. Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, it's always about protecting ourselves, like always. So when you know that, it's like, okay, maybe I can begin to start to kind of sort of maybe someday think it's okay to like not beat the crap out of myself. So hopefully you found this helpful. Michelle, Karen, Julie, Emily, always glad when people here are live. And Emily, you caught me right when I was like signing off, and I thought, I'm just going to do this right now. So hope this helps. And asking it is given. And this one was done right away. So happy all you ladies were here to join me. Have a great rest of your night. And I know it's a lot later for some of you than it is for me. So see you next time. Bye-bye.